guys, welcome back to The Single Chef. I am Matt Skollar. I'm your classic single guy with the classic single guy's fridge and ingredients. The difference is I know how to use these items simply and quickly to create a tasty meal that you can't mess up. So good that even a beautiful woman will be impressed. But if you can't take my word for it, you can't not take our lovely Lily's word for it. Right, Lily?
That's right, Matt. I'm going to try your food and tell it like it is. So what are you cooking tonight?
Well, tonight I'm cooking something that I actually created on the fly after last week's show where I made hollandaise sauce. So I don't want to give it all away right this second, but I'll just let you know that it includes last week's hollandaise sauce, some chicken, broccoli, and fettuccine in a nutshell. So it's kind of an interesting mix. And it's like a single chef original, and I'll show you guys just in just a minute. But before I do, does that conjure up any images or any feelings or sensations for you, Lil?
Well, based on what you told me earlier, it sounds like a very experimental dish. Not like anything I've had before, but it does remind me of some experimenting with food, beverages that I used to do when I was little.
Do tell.
I used to make up a drink that was, I would take whatever fruit juices I had in my fridge, cranberry juice, orange juice, apple juice, grapefruit juice.
Okay.
Put it in a glass all together, and then I would add some milk.
Ooh. Whoa. You just went off the map with the milk. But continue. Continue with this.
I loved it. And it was so delicious that even my mom refused to let me have it after a while. She just thought it was too gross. So
what mom would do that? That's terrible.
I know. Well, I hope that your experimentation is a little more successful than mine was.
I appreciate the vote of confidence, yeah. But let me just say, I think that this dish, if I pull it together like I did just the other night, will be a little bit better than some juices mixed with milk, but you never know. You'll tell. So let's get right into it, guys. As always, we'll be choosing from our 10 single chef ingredients, condiments that everybody out there has, if they're single or not. We're using soy sauce and Worcestershire sauce. I got my good old salt and pepper. Of course, you have to have that in your cabinet. We've got some garlic powder. I've got mustard and ketchup. I've got canola oil. We've got some hot sauce, which always comes in handy. And we've also got a little 1,000-gallon dressing. Whoops, and there goes the 1,000-gallon dressing. That plus what we shop for. And today, guys, I spent about 10, 12 bucks. I got some chicken breasts here. I got some broccoli. I've got some panko breadcrumbs right here. And those are, I guess you say Asian type breadcrumbs. They're made with tapioca and some other stuff, tapioca starch. And we've got some fettuccine. And I got half a lemon left over that I found in the fridge. So let's get right into it. We'll be taking questions from any of you guys out there that have any questions about what we're doing here on the show. Lily will take them. She'll ask them to me. And I'll do my best to answer them. So let's get right into it, guys. So after last week's show, I made a hollandaise sauce. If you were here, you remember. If not, that's what I made. I made poached eggs with hollandaise sauce and so forth. Actually, it wasn't poached eggs, it was fried eggs. So I took the leftover sauce I had, and I took it home with me, and I said, I want to use this sauce again. I don't want to make the eggs dish again. Let's do something with this. So I went to the store, I bought some chicken, and I bought some panko breadcrumbs, which I always wanted to cook with, but I actually never have. And I had some leftover pasta already in the fridge. So I said, I'm just going to whip something up here. I took all the ingredients, and voila, I made something that actually came out incredibly tasty. So I wanted to duplicate it here on the show for you. So let's get started right away. Lil, you hungry?
I'm starving.
Okay, you guys out there, you can follow along. If not, just take a look, take some notes, and make this at home for yourself. First thing I want to do is I'm just going to cut this chicken. And I'm going to just wash the chicken. It's always a good idea, even if it's wrapped, just to wash the stuff, because you never know who's got their hands on anything, right? Okay, perfect. So I'm just going to do that here real quickly. Just run some water over it. Put it back here. Put it here on the plate for now. And just wash my hands. Whenever you handle raw chicken, you definitely want to wash your hands. I've got some hot water boiling over here, so I want to make sure that my fettuccine gets going right away, because fettuccine takes a little longer than spaghetti or obviously angel hair. So let's put that in the water, and let's get that cooking. And I'm just going to put a little bit of our canola oil in the water so the fettuccine doesn't stick together. You can put butter if you have butter. That'll work as well. I also like to use a little bit of salt, a trick my mom taught me. Put a little salt there because it adds a little flavor and also helps with the stickiness of the pasta. And we'll start cooking our pasta. And while I do that, I'm going to ask Lil if we have any questions from you guys. So Lil, do we have any questions from those guys?
Not yet. I think they're all waiting to see what you're going to make, but we do have a little anecdote.
We have an anecdote?
A little like M. Neves. He used to eat. He wanted to share his story.
Very good, M. Neves. Let's hear it. Let's hear his anecdote.
He used to eat beans, rice, mayo, and ketchup all together.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? Beans, rice, ketchup, and mayo. I tell you, man, that's something I would do too, or something I probably have done in my thing when I was a kid was my mom made a lot of rice dishes, and she knows how to make rice. She still does. She's from Panama originally, where they make a lot of rice dishes. So rice, beans, rice, chicken, everything. But my favorite thing was to take the rice and to take corn that she cooked, put it in the rice, and then I'd take ketchup and I'd make like a spiral with the ketchup. Just rice and corn and ketchup, and just eat that. Oh, so good. So thanks for sharing, M. Neves. Appreciate it as always. I'm just taking our chicken breasts and I'm cutting them in half so they're a little more thin and not as not as thick. Because what's the opposite of thin? Thick. Okay.
Very good.
Pretty logical there, right? I'm just going to salt and pepper those. This is a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. And as I mentioned before in the show, you always want to make sure your pasta is stirred once a minute, once every couple of minutes. Just make sure that you get a fork in there and stir it. Otherwise, you're gonna that pasta's gonna stick together, and no one likes eating pasta that's clumped together. It's gross. So let me make sure that. See, and fettuccine. This fettuccine is already starting to clump up. So it's good that I'm doing this, and you want to make sure that you do this with your fettuccine or any kind of pasta that you're cooking. Okay, so my fettuccine is going good. I got some salt and pepper on here. I have my broccoli here, and I lightly blanched it before the show to save time because, as you know, guys, we only have like 25 minutes to do this. And what blanching means is pot of hot water, throw your vegetables in, whether it's broccoli or string beans or cauliflower, for like 3 minutes, softens them up a little bit so they're not so crispy, not raw, but it also doesn't take away the flavor or the nutrients, and it's still got crisp to it. So I did that for a few minutes before the show. And let me wash this knife real quick because we don't want any of the chicken to get on the broccoli, the raw chicken. You always want to make sure if you're using one knife like I am on the Single Chef that you wash it before you handle anything else. So I'm going to take the crown of this broccoli, or the bottom here, the stem, I'm sorry. I'm just going to cut the stem off. Our garbage is way far away today, so I have to execute some skill to get stuff in. And I'm going to just, as you can see, cut the bottoms off here. Okay, so all the broccoli separates like that. And then you can just take the remaining broccoli and just kind of cut into the stems, because I don't want big clumps of broccoli. I want it to be nice and cut up. And I'm going to do the same with this. Cut right here, a little higher. Okay, let me show you guys. So take away that. Oh, I'm 3 for 3 so far with shooting baskets. All right. 4 for 4. Lil, any questions?
Yeah, we do have
some questions.
Awesome.
Let's take a question.
All right. Our first is, in terms of the pasta you're using.
Yes.
You're using just your regular like wheat pasta, right?
This is actually not wheat. This is just a white pasta, fettuccine. So it's not whole wheat pasta, no. But these days in the supermarkets, there's so many different kinds of pastas out there, guys. I mean, use your preference. If you like whole wheat pasta over regular white pasta, go for it. Today I'm choosing good old-fashioned, just bleached fettuccine pasta. But was that the question?
No, I wasn't done.
But I was thinking of the question. I'm just gonna eat a piece of broccoli.
I'll let you run with it.
All right, let's go.
All right. Can you talk about? Oh no, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm just stirring. Please. Just stirring.
Well, this is actually about
practice what I preach.
Cooking time for pasta.
Okay.
The type you're using versus like a rice-based pasta. Do you know anything about that?
I've never used a rice-based pasta, guys. To be quite honest, I've just used good old traditional, flour-based. So, but if you have any questions about the time to cook, pasta, I would just look on the label or look on whatever kind of pasta you bought, and I guarantee it says how long to cook it for. Alrighty then.
We've got more, so.
Oh, we have. This is the same question?
No,
oh,
we have more questions.
Oh, okay, cool. Before I take another question, I just want to get my breadcrumbs going. So I'm going to take the chicken. I'm just going to put it on the cutting board like so. Okay. For those of you who are watching closely, making sure that I don't, put any raw chicken anywhere else. I haven't put any there. I cleaned my knife, so we're all good right now. I'm going to take the panko breadcrumbs, and I'm going to open them. And I'm just going to put them on this flat plate here. Okay. Shake that around a little bit. Now, I want to add some stuff to the panko breadcrumbs themselves to give them a little more flavor. So I'm going to add a little bit more salt, a little bit pepper. I'm going to add a little bit of garlic powder. And I'm also going to see if we have anything over here. And I see that I have a little bit of smoked paprika just sitting here. So I'm going to throw a little bit of that in the mix. That'll just give it a little bit of more flavor, enhance it, if you will. I'm just going to mix that up a little bit. It's just going to give a little added something. And I want to get my eggs out because we're going to do a little egg wash. We're going to dip the chicken in the egg, breadcrumbs, and get it going. So I got to do that right now. And I will take a question while I do that.
Great.
Cool. What do we got?
Tammy Van would like to know why you seem so specific about using panko breadcrumbs.
Wow. Well, I don't know if I mentioned earlier, but I'd never cooked with them before. So I always wanted to, in the back of my head, cook with. Oh, I just missed the garbage pail twice. So there's eggs all over the place. Eggshells. I've never cooked with them before, and I wanted to. I've had them before in food, like if you've ever had like a fried shrimp dish at a Chinese restaurant, those are usually panko breadcrumbs. So I've wanted to cook with them before. I was like, I'm gonna just do this. Like I said, this I whipped up on the fly. I bought the panko breadcrumbs. I was psyched to use my leftover hollandaise sauce. So that's why I'm using it, because it came out really good for me. And I'm gonna show you that this is not a fancy item that you have to be afraid of. Use it like regular breadcrumbs. It just adds, it's a little different flavor and texture, but it's delicious. I'm gonna put a little bit of water in there, in my eggs. I put two eggs there. I'm whipping them up. I put a little bit of water, and I want to get my chicken going, guys. So, thanks for asking, Tandy Van. It was a good question. All right, my pan has been on the oven for a while, so it's smoking really bad. So I need to put a little water in there. Again, guys, this is a live show. Things don't always go perfectly, but just like life, you got to roll with the punches. So I got to roll with this right now because that is smoking.
Yes, it is.
Let's hope we have no alarms that go off here in theroomlive.com. A little plug for the room. All right. So I don't need to put this right on the fire right away. I'm actually going to lower the heat. But don't worry, guys. We're going to make this all work because that's how I roll. All right. So watch. Put a little bit of chicken in the egg wash. Let the excess, just like that, kind of roll it around the panko. You can use your hands there, get a little dirty, okay? And then just kind of let that. Now, I gotta put a little bit of oil in this pan, and this pan is okay. It doesn't have to be on the heat right now because it is hot. This oil is gonna be immediately hot. I'm putting about ½ an inch of canola oil in this pan here. Just let me show the folks, okay? So watch, guys. This thing's gonna sizzle. Right, let's put it back on the fire. It sizzled if you had like super hearing. That was sizzling. Did I mention this is a live show? Okay, here we go. So again, repeat the process. Put it in the egg, roll around some panko, and you see that's like, these breadcrumbs are obviously different than your traditional Italian breadcrumbs, which are also fantastic. But I'm really digging learning to cook with these or experimenting with these and showing you guys that this stuff comes out great. Again, just put it in there. My pasta is probably 2 or 3 minutes away. I have most people have what is it, 5 senses? 6 senses?
5?
5.
I mean, if you're lucky, you got 6.
I have a 6th sense. I can just know when pasta's ready. That's just something I was born with. I'm blessed to have, and I can tell that pasta is about 2 minutes away from being perfectly cooked to a nice al dente, which is what I like. So I've got this one more breast here. Ooh, yeah, those are cooking up nice. I need to add a little bit more oil. Okay, there we go. This is a messy show tonight. This is the last few shows have been neat. Haven't been really making a mess in the kitchen. This one's a mess, but I enjoy it. I love it.
Messy's good.
I know, it's fun. You got to get in there. You got to be in it to win it. and every other saying like that. Okay, so here we go. There's all our chicken. I have to wash my hands because my hands are panko encrusted.
Delicious.
Yeah. So let me get this out of the way. I'm done with this. Now, you can save your eggs, because as you see, I have some leftover eggs. You could wrap those up real nicely in cellophane and use those for scrambled eggs tomorrow if you want. Or if you don't want to, you could throw them away. I'm a little bit of a pack rat. I tend to hold on to things. You know, times are tough out there, so I'm going to just put these aside for later. What's so funny? Did I say something funny? What? What did I do? All right, just kidding. All right, so I'm going to take this lemon. I'm just going to cut it. And I'm going to sprinkle some fresh lemon over our chicken as it's cooking. Let's go back to our stove here. This pasta is just about done. You can tell it's starting to rise to the top, and it's getting really white. The water's getting white and stuff like that. That's how I know it's almost ready. Okay, I think I'm ready to flip the chicken as well. It's a little packed in there. Let's take this and go like that. There you go. Nice and golden, just like we want it, guys. Golden brown. Delicious chicken. So, I'm going to take a little lemon, and I'm just going to sprinkle it on top of there like that. That one went in. All right, let's get our hollandaise sauce out, guys, and do a little recap. So, here's our leftover hollandaise sauce. Let's go to camera this. All right. I actually remade it today because I'm not going to use the sauce I used last week because that would be no good. But just as a recap, if you didn't watch last week's show, go on iTunes and watch it. But let me tell you real quickly what we did. We did it the single chef way, really quick, really fast. We took a blender. I took 3 egg yolks, no white, egg yolks, put them in the blender, put like a little more than a teaspoon of Dijon mustard, and half a lemon. Juiced half a lemon in there, blended it for about 5 seconds. I took about half a cup of butter, and I melted the butter in the microwave, and then slowly poured it in the blender, and then let it mix with everything. It actually cooks the yolks, and then I blended it again for another 5 seconds. Oh, I also added about 2 tablespoons of hot sauce before the butter, and that was it. So this is going to now become the base of our Asian-infused French-American pasta dish with panko-encrusted chicken, broccoli, and fettuccine. And it's so much fun, guys. Like, it's one of the things I love about cooking is you gotta have fun with this stuff, man. This is not brain science, you know what I mean? I don't know if brain science is an actual occupation, but you know where I'm going with that. It's just fun. So, here, let's get our pasta off here. I'm just gonna take a little taste test, run a little cold water under that, and make sure that's done. So just take a little out, put a little cold water. Yep, 6 cents kicking in. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. Al dente, not too hard, not too soft. Just swallowed a piece in the wrong way. Be careful with fettuccine. Alrighty. Let's strain that. Okay. Let that strain. It tickles the throat. Alrighty then. So, our chicken is just about done as well. So, here's what's going to go down. Do we have any other questions, Lil?
We've got lots.
Do we really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Let's hear one.
All right. Wolf Amadeus wants to know which kind of chicken you're using.
Which kind?
Yeah.
I'm using just chicken breasts that I found at Ralph's. I forgot the brand because I already threw out the package, but I think they were like the kind that doesn't use antibiotics or doesn't use, the good kind. So I paid a few extra bucks for that. So they're just white chicken breasts. That's it. 2 big breasts that I split in half. But there you go. Thanks for watching. So our chicken is ready to be put on a little paper here. So you see both sides are nice and golden brown. Those panko breadcrumbs are, oh man, they're so good. So delicious. You got to try this, guys. And I'm gonna just put them on there so the oil drains. That's how Mom used to do it. She let it drain and let the paper absorb the oil. And then we're gonna use that pan to create this whole thing here. I want to get some more paper towel real quick. Do we have a good shot of that, guys? Or should I show the... Okay, that looks pretty good. It almost looks like fried chicken, which it is. It's pan fried. Just want to get the excess oil out. All right? Now, here's what we do next. I'm going to put this chicken, I got to go quick. Fast and furious. I'm going to cut these into strips. And we're almost ready to, oh, see, that still needs a little cooking there. That's all right. Another 2 minutes and that'll be cooked. I'll take a question if we have another one while I'm just doing. Basically, I'm just, as you can see, I'm just slicing these up, guys, into thin strips.
All right.
That one's nice and cooked. Yes. Yes, my friend.
Sure.
What do we got?
Over the Rainbow would like to know if there's any other type of sauce that he or she could use, because he or she is not a really big fan of hollandaise sauce.
Really? Well, you know what? Even if you're not a fan of hollandaise sauce, this is not going to taste like a egg hollandaise sauce dish. So before you go ahead and just totally decide not to do this, try it at home. Make it. If it tastes bad or if it's not to your tasting, then get yourself a jar of pasta sauce and make like a, you can make yourself an Italian style dish. But I would really try this, because what I'm going to do that's going to make this a little different is I'm going to add an element to it that's going to make it less of a hollandaise sauce and more of a French type of, more of like a Francaise type of sauce, if you will, if you know what that is. That's more of a French-based white wine, lemon, and butter sauce. And I'm actually going to take out my white wine right now. I have a little bit of white wine left over. I'm going to use that.
And I'll say for the record that this hollandaise sauce is very delicious, so I recommend it.
Thank you, Lily.
Even if you don't like it, just do it. Just do it.
Just do it. Try it. Try it before you don't buy it. I just made that up.
It's good.
Try it before you don't buy it. So the chicken obviously needs to cook a little more. And now you can see I put a little white wine in there, and that's going to just infuse into the chicken and give it a little bit more flavor. I can add my broccoli now. Whoops, something just fell on the side there. Yeah, awesome. Oh, you know what fell? We have a new light out here. It's experimental. I'm going to go fix it real quick. Watch. There we go. Live TV, man. You got to love it. All right, so I've got my broccoli and I've got my chicken in there. And we are just going to let that all cook together. And already it's smelling delicious here. And I like how the panko breadcrumbs are sticking to the chicken. They're not being washed away from the white wine. And I'm just going to take a little piece here and just kind of sample it. This one's done. Very good. Okay, I'm going to turn up the heat on this, sort of like a stir fry. And I'm going to take some of our fettuccine, and I'm just going to add that to the mix as well and let that start cooking in with these ingredients. Awesome. You can add more fettuccine if you want. In fact, I'll add a tiny bit more, just a little bit. I don't want any one portion of this meal to kind of be the star. I want the star to be the mix of everything. So I have a nice amount of fettuccine, but not too much. Okay? So we're gonna letting all that stuff kind of, like I said, mix in there. We've got this thing packed to the gills. Wow. Oh, it smells really good though. Okay, so this is where we add last week's sauce. We're just gonna pour it over here.
It smells so good in here. I really can't. It's so good. I can't wait to try it. And I'm starving now.
Is anybody else out there asking anything while we're finishing up this dish?
Many people want to know if it's making us hungry.
If it's making us hungry.
Yeah. And I say yes.
Yeah. It's coming out pretty much similar to the way it did for me the other night, and I feasted on it the other night. But before we get ahead of ourselves, obviously we'll have to taste this. And guys, just while this is finishing up, I want to just throw it out there that you can follow us a few different ways. If you're on Twitter, we're at The Single Chef. If you're on Facebook, you can just look up The Single Chef. You can download us for free on YouTube and iTunes. You go to podcasts and you look up, that's right, you guessed it, The Single Chef. So I just want to throw that out there and appreciate you following us. So I think we're just about there. Got things falling out of this thing here. All right. All I really want to do is reheat. I just wanted to reheat the hollandaise. It doesn't need to cook for too long because now everything else is already cooked. So we're just about ready to eat, Lil.
Awesome.
Let me show you guys here what we got is our finished product. It's a nice mix of everything, as you can see. Broccoli, chicken, fettuccine. None is the, it's a nice blend, if you will. I don't like to, when I cook with pasta, I like it to be an added feature, but I don't like it to be, a lot of people like so much pasta. I like just a nice mix of pasta. All right, so made a little bit of a mess here today, but I gotta tell you, it smells great, and we're excited to taste this. But Lil, why don't you come up here and you be the judge of that?
Finally.
Right?
Yes.
Making you wait all this time.
I know. It's mean.
I know.
I'm starving.
So let's see. I've got a spoon here we're gonna work with. We're just gonna
Smells so good.
ladle this onto a plate. He really does.
Yikes.
There goes that light again. Everyone's okay. I just want to let you guys know everybody's all right. Okay, that's for you.
Oh, thank you.
You are welcome. It's a little hot, so let it blow. Let it simmer. And might want to blow on it is what I meant to say. Oh, yes. That chicken.
Like that?
Just like that. Just like that. Okay. Do you have a fork?
No.
Here, let's get you one.
Okay.
This is for you.
Thank you.
This is for me. Et voila.
Delicious. Oh,
Very hot. Very hot.
Get a little bit
Very
of
hot.
everything.
See, on those other cooking shows, they have like a commercial break, and then they get to come back and try it.
It is very
On
hot.
this show, we don't.
No. Too hot?
Oh, it's a little hot, but it's really good.
Okay.
But then again, you have to I would just recommend letting the flavors kind of seep into your system there, and then give us the verdict. I'm gonna have a big chunk of chicken, however. That's fresh lemon juice. It's really hot, guys, but
But it is. It's good.
it came out good, just like it did the other night. I would recommend you guys try this at home. Seriously, it takes about 25 minutes, costs $10, and you will be satisfied. And if not, we'll give you a full refund somehow, some way.
It is good.
Well said. Well spoken.
It's really good, so I recommend it.
So should we wrap this up?
Let's wrap it up.
Thanks for watching, guys. Really appreciate it. Learn how to cook because you don't want to be single forever. I'm Matt. That's Lily. We'll see you next time on The Single Chef.
Cheers.